Hi, hello, welcome back to my channel, Govind English Teacher. Today, here is a great personality from Karnataka. She is Sudha Madam. She is a teacher. She is a dedicated, determined, disciplined teacher, and she is a eloquent speaker. And now, today, she is going to interact with us. Okay, and Madam, welcome to my channel, Sudha Madam, and
Thank
please
you.
give an account of your introduction. After that, we'll go to the session. Okay.
Yes, sure. First of all, I would like to thank you for giving me this opportunity to share my ideas with you regarding the English language, which I am teaching for my kids. I would like to brief my own introduction. My name is Sudha. I'm from Karnataka, Bellary district, teaching for high school students at Talur, Turgupa Taluka. Yes, sir.
Yes, madam. Okay, thank you, madam, for your brief introduction. Okay, madam, I think you have been teaching English language for the long time. I
Yeah.
don't know actually how long time you have been teaching. Okay, and how long time have you been teaching? And please share your teaching experience. Also, being a teacher of English language, and you have to say something the importance of English language and how one can learn English language. And please share your experience, madam.
Okay. I've been teaching English since 16 years. Uh, Year by year, I just went on getting different views regarding the teaching methods, the pedagogy, regarding the possibilities, or assessing the students' needs, going by their needs every year. I would like to start from the beginning when I joined my profession as a teacher. The very first thing I was very much excited to go into the class taking a lot of English, but it didn't work because students from their different backgrounds, they were not able to understand the language at all. So I had complaints. How come you are teaching English? So I thought it is better to go in a direct method. Didn't work. So gradually I picked up the bilingual method so that my students can understand. That also made a difference in the sense if I start using a lot of mother tongue, you are not able to reach your target language. So there also I for the gradual years, year by year, I went on modifying my own methods, the strategies, according to the learning styles of my students. So you were just asking me because many of us in today's world, especially, they wish to learn English, especially regarding the communication thing, right? So what I think, this is not a difficult task. Only thing is English is also a one type of language. It's not something apart from any language. It's also one type of language. So my Karnataka friends may be very much familiar with this quote, a poem that is never let your idea, thought to shrivel and die. For I want a way to say it. For English is a wonderful game and all of you can play it. This is from Mary O'Neill, sir. That is from Mary O'Neill's poem. I would like to repeat. Never let your thought to shrivel and die, for I want a way to say it. For English is a wonderful game, and all of you can play it. So whenever I go to some workshops or to as a RP, I go for taking some training for the teachers for primary. I used to say this thing. So like other language, English also one type of language. The only thing is that you need little bit exposure and bit training. That much is enough. Personally, I believe that almost the human mind is by default, it is programmed to learn any language of the world. So English also one of the language. The only thing is that we need to follow exactly the method how we have followed to learn our mother tongue. So you might have learned about the Bernard Shaw's broken and spoken English. There he speaks about how broken and spoken English are having interrelated connection because as we know, subconsciously we started learning our language. We don't even know how we have got our mother tongue. Now we can speak so fluently without any effort, so confidently. The same thing can be applied to learn this language also. So nowadays I'm just taking this step to my students. So last week, Pavitra ma'am also was talking about Kalika Chetarike. So this year we
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
leniency. The teachers in the Karnataka, they have a leniency to guide their students to go for the use, the practical use of the language more. because there we have a plenty ample opportunities to make the child to make use of the language, not just listening the language. That is how I think nowadays in this high speed, high tech, right, and the high communicated world, English is playing a vital role. Don't you think like that? Right. So the teachers, you may be having a Andhra background, I may be having Karnataka background. We do love our Kannada and you do love your Telugu. It doesn't mean that we are degrading
Yeah.
that language. But still, we like our children to get admitted in English medium schools. Why? Only because of its utility. Not that we don't like our mother tongue or our state languages. Only because of this utility, the importance which the language is playing nowadays, it was and it is and it will be a thing, right? The English language, it has its
Yeah.
own value. Fine. So because of many wish to love, wish and they like to learn this language. But what happens, though we know the importance, we are devoting less and less time to concentrate on the communication ground. And for that communicating skills, we need to have little effort. So the students and when I speak about the teachers and students, they have atmosphere to learn. When we talk about the common man, he doesn't have that atmosphere. There he needs to practice on his own. So he has to find time. So if a person wanted to learn it badly in the sense, they should have a passion to learn. Just wishing and living that idea doesn't work. So they should have a passion towards learning anything, any language they can learn. When you talk about the English, just make a timetable. According to that, you have to follow. Initially, you need to give some efforts. So gradually, once you start, you will start to feel that English language is not a hard nut to crack, but a soft cake to eat and enjoy. That is how I used to keep that. This is my favorite phrase. Wherever I go, I like to keep this one. And when you talk about many of the teachers, not the common person, but many of the teachers and students, they know that how we need to master the core skills of the language, that is LSRW, right? So, out of these four skills, personally and individually, I believe that listening is plays a very important role in the beginning stages. That's why the students at the elementary level, they will be given a lot of practice on the listening skills. And for this, teachers have to be very much skilled, proficient,
Yeah.
and fluent speakers. The teacher fails because the student they may not get good exposure there. So teacher has to be very much confident to use the language, to make use of the language, because they are the person who are going to introduce to the other world of the other tongue to the student. Isn't it, sir? Don't you think like that? So
Yeah.
teacher has to. That's why nowadays the teacher have to be updated themselves, and they have to be attend many workshops, the training. Why these diets and other training centers at Bangalore and other are working? They want to update the teachers first. Unless the teachers are not good, they cannot inspire the others one. When you have no burning aspiration inside you, how can you give something out of you to others? Isn't it? Yes, sir. This is how I believe. And
Yes.
one more,
Yes.
because
Yes.
uh, I just went through my own article which I gave 2 years back. There, one more phrase I wish to say to you, share with you. Right to speak comes with the duty to listen. Right to speak, I repeat, right to speak comes with the duty to listen. So, if you want to be a very
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
communicator, you need to be a very good listener to the language, whichever you like to learn. So first, at the initial stages, what I believe, the students or the persons who wish to learn this language, they need to have a lot of exposure. So maybe it is through the films, the short films, it is through the stories, many things, many websites and many sites or apps. They are doing so great job now to give support to learning this language. So this is a simple idea what I have. Yes, sir. Any other questions?
Thank you, madam, for your sharing your you excelled your experience in extending way in an extended way in an excellent way, you know. And okay, so I believe that and the success is not in wishing, it is doing.
Yes.
So to be a successful speaker, to be a eloquent speaker, to be a great communicator, first of all, we must be a great listener. Okay, only listening is a small
Yes.
case. which opens a big door of a communication. It's an ocean, Okay, that's good. Thank you, madam. Thank you for your great ideas and your suggestions. And one more question, madam. What are the suggestions that you are going to give? Many people they want to learn. Those who completed graduation, even though they have graduated, but they can't speak English very well, but they want to learn English language. But in every interview, they ask everything in English language only. So, what are the suggestions that you are going to give the new learners, new beginners, and those who are passionate to learn English language? And please express your ideas regarding the ways how one can learn, yeah,
Yes.
the language.
Uh,
Yeah.
yeah. The ultimate goal of any language is its use. How we use that language in our day-to-day life. So the stress is given for the usage, not for the learning that the rules section. So what I
Yeah.
tell, according to me, it's better to go for the language in the beginning stages, initial stages. When one wishes to learn this language, one should not be scared, afraid to make mistakes. I'm telling you at the initial stages. Gradually, you will come to know how you can correct. Say, for example, take the mother tongue language what we have learned. A small baby, when he starts to learn his mother tongue, just for if his or her mother asks him, "Do you need to have something to eat?" What he say, yes or no. Just a simple thing, he will answer the question. He doesn't say in a sentence, "Yes, I need something to eat." Right. So gradually he'll pick up the language. It is not he won't learn the language. We say acquiring or pick upping the language. It is not the learning the language. That is how I believe even the English language also can be learned in this process. So the beginners who wish to learn, who is very much passionate about to learn this language, they can pick up this way. And another thing is that the children's books, I mean to say the first standard, second standard, third standard children's book, they do have a very small vocabulary. The vocabulary words which they can understand easily. Through that books, they can narrate the stories, simple stories, right? So they can make use of the vocabulary, the same vocabulary they can make use in their own sentences. So this is the second way where they can learn the language. And the third thing is that they have to figure out how they can learn. What I mean to say is, see, we do have a different learning styles, right? I may remember the things by doing. You may remember the things just by reading. So some will learn the thing by memorizing. So we do have a different styles to learn the language. So we need to figure out our own way to learn the language. Some may be very by
Yeah.
memorizing or reading or narrating. Some may be very good at explaining. Some are very good at questioning. So these methods they can. Other methods, lot of methods are there. So first thing they have to figure out that. And the fourth point is sorry, there was some disturbance. Instead of just reading about the language, they have to practice it by doing. Otherwise, it would be like just reading about the car, how to drive without practicing how to drive it. Right. So, because it is a skill, as it is already said, it is a skill. Skill can be learned only by doing, not just reading about it. And the fourth point, if they are very much passionate to learn the language, they have to prepare their own timetable. See, not just saying is enough because we need to keep our effort. We need to create our own atmosphere where you wish, where you want to learn, not just because you have to learn, but you wish and you want to learn to give you a conducive atmosphere where you can learn the language very easily. Nowadays, we have many sources where we can improve our language step by step. The fifth point is that we should not be in hurry to learn the language. Hurry in the sense, see, say for example, one book, all of a sudden you cannot master that because I told you about the listening skills. All the four skills, if you want to learn a language, all the four skills have to be mastered. And I cannot say that you can concentrate on one skill at a time because all the skills are interrelated. If you go for listening, you have to speak, and if you go for speaking, another step is reading, and writing will come at the higher step. Right? So here we should not be in a hurry to learn the language. It is just a go on process, and we need to keep some efforts for that. Right? This is how I learned. And one more thing I would like to share that You need to speak to yourself. I will just make it clear. Just stand when you learn
Self-talk.
something. Yes, self talk. Don't do outside because people will think you have gone crazy. Just stand before the mirror. Practice myself. You will come to know how you are pronouncing the words and how your expressions are. Everything will come to know where you can start to learn confidently how to communicate the person who are you are facing in class or wherever you meet. Right. And the last thing is that better to make it a habit to consult the dictionary now and then to know the words
Yeah.
and know different meanings of the single word, how it differs from a different context. Because English, it is something irrelevant language because it doesn't match with its pronunciation. Spelling will be different and pronunciation different. And one wish to learn the language at the initial stages, he has to be very much, he has to familiarize himself with its sound pattern, with its phonetics, with its alphabet, or else you may not. Just wishing is not enough, I'm telling you. Because if you want to learn it badly, definitely you'll find out the ways to learn it. Wishing is not
Yeah.
enough. How I believe. I believe in practice. Yes, sir.
Okay, to learn English, to learn any language, there is we shouldn't just run after for the shortcut method. We have to do everything in a natural way, in a how we learn our mother tongue. Like the same way, we have to practice. And if anybody wants to learn any language, because we have the universal grammar in our brain, one can learn many
Yes.
languages because anywhere, anytime, because the capacity capabilities we have. And those who are passionate to learn English language, first of all, they must be dedicated, determined, disciplined, and also the burning desire. One can learn, one can excel expectancy in English language in extending way, in extraordinary way. I think a lot of patience, a lot of have to invest time, and okay, one can learn. Okay, thank you, madam, for your great the motivational class today. Those who are passionate to learn language, okay, and your words are so inspiring. Those the beginners, and thank you, madam, for your sparing your time and for your interaction. For you have made everything clear, and I think the viewers will learn a lot of things. And one more request to all the viewers, and if you haven't subscribed so far, please subscribe the channel. Thank you, madam. Thank you.
Before I close, I would
Namaskar.
like to say, sir, before I close, I would like to just end up with the sentence, foreign language will remain foreign until you doesn't make friendship with it. Foreign language doesn't mean only the English, any language of the world which you wish to learn, that will remain foreign to you unless you make friendship with it. Thanks a lot once again.
Okay, thank you, madam. Thank you
Okay,
for
sir. Bye.
final touch by you. Okay, see you later, madam.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Yes, yes.